In a land without a king, a sword appeared in stone, and only the true heir could pull it free. Knights tried and failed. Lords fought and raged. But when a humble boy named Arthur placed his hand upon the hilt, destiny was forever changed.
Long ago, when Britain lay broken and weary, the throne sat empty. The old king had died without an heir, and the lords of the land fell into bitter quarrels. Each noble claimed the crown by right of blood or strength of arms, and the realm was torn apart by endless strife. But in the heart of London, on the morning of Christmas Day, a miracle appeared. In the yard of the great cathedral stood a block of white marble, smooth and shining, as though carved by the hand of God Himself. Driven deep into its heart was a sword, its hilt adorned with gold and precious stones, its blade bright as starlight. Upon it, in letters no man could mistake, were written the words, "Whoso pulleth this sword from this stone and anvil is rightwise king, born of all England." Word spread like fire through the land. Knights, earls, and dukes came riding from every corner of Britain to claim the throne. With banners flying and trumpets sounding, they strode into the churchyard and laid hands upon the sword. Some pulled with all their strength until sweat poured down their faces. Others heaved and strained, their muscles trembling, their pride stung as the blade refused to move. Many cursed the stone. Some declared the prophecy false, and still others whispered that sorcery bound the weapon fast. But no matter how they tried, not a single man could draw it forth. So the sword remained where it was, gleaming in silence as the winters passed, while the land remained leaderless and divided. In those troubled days lived a boy named Arthur, though most knew him only as Wart. He was no knight, no prince, no lord, but a humble squire to his foster brother Sir Kay. Arthur's life was one of service, polishing armor until it gleamed, fetching water from the well, tending horses, and holding lances for practice tilting. Though he was small for his age, with clear eyes and a gentle spirit, he worked with diligence, never complaining of the burdens placed upon him. He was a boy with dreams he dared not speak aloud, dreams of adventure, of honor, of belonging to a world greater than the one he knew. He was raised by Sir Ector, a kindly but stern man who treated him as a son, though Arthur often felt overshadowed by Kay, who was bold, brash, and eager to prove himself in battle. That winter, London was alive with festivity, for a great tournament was proclaimed. Knights from all corners of the realm gathered to joust and display their valor.
The people crowded the streets. Merchants sold roasted chestnuts and hot spiced wine, and banners snapped in the cold December wind. Sir Kay was determined to win renown. He rode into the city clad in shining armor, his crest proud upon his helm. Arthur followed faithfully, carrying his brother's shield and seeing to his every need. But as the moment of combat drew near, Sir Kay suddenly discovered he had left his sword behind at the lodging house. Panic struck him. Without a weapon, he could not enter the lists. "Wart!" he snapped, his voice sharp with urgency. "My sword! Fetch it at once, or I am ruined before the eyes of every knight in England." Arthur, startled but loyal, dashed away through the crowded streets. He searched every corner, but the lodging house was locked, and the sword was nowhere to be found. His heart pounded. He could not return empty-handed. Kay was depending on him. Then, as he hurried past the cathedral yard, Arthur's eyes fell upon the sword in the stone. It stood there in silence, untouched amidst the bustle of the city. The morning sun struck its jeweled hilt, and, for a moment, Arthur felt as though it called to him. He hesitated. The stories of the sword were known to all, but he thought not of crowns or prophecies. He thought only of his brother, waiting in anger and shame. Arthur stepped closer. The churchyard was empty. The crowds had gone to watch the tournament. Snow lay thin upon the ground, muffling his footsteps. He reached out, wrapping his fingers around the hilt. The metal was cool, almost warm in his grasp, as if it recognized his touch. Without effort, without strain, the sword slid free. The stone gave no resistance. It was as though the blade had been waiting for him alone. Arthur stared in wonder. The weight of the sword was perfect in his hands, balanced and bright. For a moment, he felt a shiver of something vast, destiny perhaps, stirring within him. But the thought passed, and he turned quickly back toward the tournament field. When he presented the sword to Sir Kay, his brother's eyes widened with astonishment. "Where did you get this?" Kay demanded, clutching the hilt. Arthur answered simply, "From the stone, in the churchyard." Sir Ector, hearing this, grew pale. He led both boys back to the cathedral yard, where the sword was set once more into the marble. Knights and lords gathered at the word, pressing in to witness the truth. One by one, the proudest of them tried again to draw it forth. They pulled with rage, with hope, with desperation, but the blade did not stir. Then Arthur, with quiet humility, stepped forward. He wrapped his hand once more around the hilt and drew it out as easily as before. A great hush fell. For a heartbeat, all was still. Then voices rose in wonder. "The prophecy! He is the one! The boy is king!" Some knelt at once, others shouted in protest, but no one could deny the truth of what they had seen. And so, on that winter's day, the humble squire who had been called Wart became Arthur, King of England. Not by lineage, nor by might, nor by cunning, but by the will of destiny. He had not sought the crown, nor dreamed of ruling. Yet in his heart lay the courage, justice, and mercy the kingdom so desperately needed. The sword gleamed in his hand, not as a prize, but as a promise of the great deeds to come, of Camelot, of the Round Table, of quests and betrayals, and of a reign that would echo through the ages. And so began the legend of King Arthur, born not from pride or ambition, but from the quiet hand of a boy who believed only in doing what was right.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in our next video.